Okay, we are going on to questions 7 and 8 on our Utaxis. Now, the key to remember, as always, if Mr. Spudik gives you a graph, he will be asking for the slope. Always, always, always. Because the slope always means something. So when we look at this and we see that this graph, you're going to say, oh, I better make sure I find out the slope. So here's one word that's getting a little tricky. We see instantaneous. And yeah, so instantaneous can be a little tricky. What does that mean? It just means what's the velocity at that instant. Okay, so it's nothing fancy, nothing too tricky. It's just that we need to know what the velocity is going to be at exactly that instant. So if it says for mine 6 seconds, I'm just going to go to 6 seconds and say, okay, I need to find the slope of this line. Now, don't find a little piece of the segment for the 6 seconds. This is one full straight line. So even though it's saying for 6 seconds instantaneous, you need to take the slope from point A to point B. Do the full line segment. All right. Now, our equation for slope is just rise over run, right? Or if you remember this from math class, you have y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. All right, so for mine, I'm going to put in, well, y2, that was -5. So I'm going to write in -5. All right, y1 is right there. That's going to be 2. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say, all right, well, -2. That's positive. All right, divided by x2, I see is 7. X1 was 5. All right, be careful since you're minusing here. That should make a bigger negative number, right? So I should have -7 divided by 2. Divide it out, get your answer, and that's what it'll be for question number 7. Now, what about 8? Question number 8, now they want to know average velocity over the entire trip, okay? The whole time shown, which means from here all the way to there. So to make life easy, why don't we put in a line and try to see what we're talking about here? Okay, so I'm talking about from this point to that point, I need to figure out my velocity. Again, what's velocity? My slope. All right, if Mr. Spudik gives you a slope, or gives you a graph, he's asking for the slope. So we're going to get our slope of this line here. So again, we're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Oops, x1. All right, that's a really ugly x, but you'll be okay with it. All right, so now we're going to put in our numbers. So y2 is 1. y1 was a -5. All right, that just so happens to be the same as here, same height, but that's coincidence. All right, divided by x2 was 9. x1 is 0. So we have minus a minus, right? That becomes plus. We have 6 divided by 9. Buy that out, and you get your answer.